We're trying out a new formatting today. Hopefully the audio's okay. I'm using my headphones, but I don't know how well the mic works on it. Anyway, today I'll just be doing a very casual, unscripted video talking about some pet stories. So I have this bearded dragon named Butters. I didn't name him. Got him off fake Facebook Marketplace. The way I got him was kind of weird, and it was kind of an accident. And he wasn't really intended to be mine originally, but it happened. It was weird. I got off work early. I worked at the same place as my brother. And I went to go show him the listing that I found on Facebook Marketplace because I like to browse on there for fun. And I'm like, look at this, a bearded dragon. It's in the same town we're at. And he's like, you should offer $225. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Because for one thing, it was, I think the original listing price was $250. So that's like hardly any different. And I knew it would be irresponsible of me to get another pet at that point. Like, if you want it done, you should do it. So he did. They responded and confirmed and anything. So when my mother came to pick me up, I'm like, can we take a detour? So the deal was, me and my brother were going to share him, split the payment and everything. Because, like, I wanted him a bearded dragon, but I doubt it. I wasn't going to make the purchase myself. Because it was irresponsible. But anyway, we went over to get him. The couple we bought him from said they got him in November, and I'm pretty sure reptiles are sold a month or less after they're hatched, usually from pet stores. So his birthday is somewhere around October, probably. So he's a little bit over 2 years old right now. And he is so much different than the other reptiles I have. At the time, I only had a leopard gecko. And Butters, bearded dragon's care is a lot more intensive, a lot more day-to-day. They require a lot more space. Obviously, they're a lot bigger, but they're also more intelligent. They require more attention, and they're omnivores, so they have a more balanced diet. I had researched bearded dragons ages ago when I was trying to figure out what to get originally before I got Glimmer. So I knew a little bit about it, and I was kind of prepared, but yeah. Eventually, he ended up becoming fully mine because I guess Caden, my brother, didn't want any responsibility for him or anything. So yeah, now he's mine. He lives in my room. He's so much different than having a leopard gecko, which I knew, but it still somehow surprised me. What do you want?
I was asking if I could start a movie.
What?
Can I start a movie?
Can you?
I don't know, can I?
No. He's incredibly social. He loves attention. I've taken him to a couple different places. Like a lot of places. The worst time we ever had with him was in a thrift store. We had gone to look for furniture for my room, me and my brother. Same brother. He adores this guy. Even though he didn't want him. He didn't want the responsibility for him. But anyway, he was holding him while we were in the thrift store. I usually kept him under my jacket. My zip-up jacket. I usually kept him under one side like a drug dealer or something. Because some people tend to freak out when they see lizards. I don't know why. Especially because Butters is a pretty big lizard. He's all spiky and intimidating looking. But yeah, I usually keep him in my jacket that way. I've taken him to Walmart and stuff like that. But my brother was being less cautious. He had him on top of his head, and we grabbed our furniture, our little desks. We walked up to the front desk reception area. And the lady there, she was probably 60 plus. She did not like Butters. She stumbled back, like almost screamed. We almost got kicked out. But I just put him back in my jacket and we continued the purchase with a different cashier. The weird thing is, though, we live in Florida now, and everyone around here seems to like him a lot more, be much more accepting of reptiles. Even adults, like kids usually like him fine. But I usually take him out with my mother's homeschool group to parks and stuff, and every kid in the vicinity is all over him. Parents are encouraging their toddlers to pet him. He really likes going to the park. He loves all that attention. Sometimes he gets a little bit overwhelmed, but he's very good about it. He also likes to just free roam in our bedroom. We'll just put him on the floor and he'll hang out. One time I went with my mother to the park for her homeschool thing. And she said we were just going to the park, but we ended up going on a pretty long hike. Butters did not approve, and neither did the, what are they, 4 and 5-year-olds or whatever? Very small children we were with. So I ended up taking some of the younger kids, my siblings, and Butters back to the playground. And while I was sitting at the playground, so many people came up to us, and I just had Butters sitting on the picnic table to sunbathe. It was crazy. I don't know if it's a Florida thing. There's a lot of wild reptiles in Florida, and a lot of the advertising for tourist attractions and stuff center around reptiles, alligators, and snakes and stuff. So that might be a reason. People around here are just more used to it. More understanding of creatures, of non-mammalian creatures. But yeah, it's crazy. The weirdest part is that the adults act the same way. I mean, like, fear of reptiles, including snakes and stuff, is a learned behavior. So I'm not too surprised that kids like him. But all the adults, all the parents of the children are okay letting them touch him. One time, Butters, he's weird. He's so weird. If you have him out around the house to sunbathe or anything, he'll only go anywhere if somebody is not looking at him. And then he'll just run super quick and then freeze. I think it's just some sort of fight or flight mechanism. He'll also only eat if you're not watching him. If the food's been in a cage for a while and he's noticed it. But yeah, he's super chill. I don't think he's scared or anything. I think that's just how he acts. He's named after a South Park character, apparently. I wouldn't know, but that's what his old owner said. And I thought it was cute, so I didn't change it. People tend to like it. I think a lot of people think that reptiles aren't good pets, that they don't like socializing, that they don't do anything. But Butters loves going on excursions, loves going on trips. He likes looking at the car windows while we're driving. And you can definitely tell when he's happy or when he's not happy, because bearded dragons and a lot of reptiles actually are basically mood rings, and they change color when they're stressed or when they're happy. The only time I've ever seen him really, really stressed was when absolutely nothing was happening and he was just sitting in his enclosure, and I walked by and his beard was just like all completely black. The spots behind his ears sometimes get dark, and Mom's like, oh, he's stressed, and I'm like, that's not really stressed. They get super dark when they're stressed all over their beard. And so I took him out and showed Mom when he was so dark as an example. And she's like, oh my goodness. I had no idea what was wrong with him. I held him for a bit and he reverted back to his yellowness. So yeah, I'm not an expert on reptiles, contrary to what some of the small children tend to believe. One little girl at the park, she was super shy. I saw her sitting at the picnic table across from mine, just looking at Butters and talking about him to her mom. And her mom encouraged her to come over. And she's like, are you a creature expert or something? I think she thought he was wild. A wild lizard that I had caught. There are some pretty big wild lizards around here in Florida, so it's not too far out there. I think that's all for today's video. I'm gonna talk about my other little guys and other family pets and other simple stories like that without it being scripted because it's easier. So, if you want, in the comments, you can vote on whether you'd like to hear about my leopard gecko named Glimmer or my ball python named Archimedes.